Hi friends, and welcome to the very first Tent Talk Tuesday. So, yeah, I feel kind of, wow, first of all, it's really hot. You can probably see that my cheeks are like bright red right now because it's really hot inside this tent, because I guess there's no airflow I guess that's a pretty hot day too, but oh my goodness. Anyways, so I'm really excited about this. Wow, is my nose piercing flipped around because it gets like that? Okay, anyways. Basically what this is going to be is a 10-minute talk, just kind of us hanging out, just chatting, and I'm not going to make it super, I don't know, fancy or something. I just want it to be a conversation. And so sometimes I'm going to do these that are super lighthearted and kind of goofy about random topics, and then sometimes I'm going to, I don't know, have more serious talks. I'm not sure. Wow, it's so hot, you guys. Oh my goodness. But anyways, welcome to this Tent Talk Tuesday, or 10-minute Tent Talk Tuesday. Just get all the alliteration in there. Today I wanted to talk about, I wrote some notes actually because I thought my camera just turned off, but it didn't, so we're good. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the fact that it's now September, and when you're watching this, today will be the day that school's starting for me at least. And a few days ago, I realized that August was ending, and that was a really hard thing for me. Maybe that sounds really dumb, but just September, psychologically, I felt like I couldn't handle it. And it made me kind of, when it was August 31st and then it was going to be September 1st the next day, it just made me really sad, and to the point where I actually was trying to convince myself that it was still August. Also, I have a timer and I see it just turned off, and it was supposed to never turn off, so that's not cool. How do we make that not turn off? Okay, please don't turn off on me, goodness. I need to know what time it is. Okay. Anyways, so, okay, I'm self-conscious about the fact that I'm sweating and I feel like my hair is sticking to my face. Okay, sorry, I'll get to the point. So yeah, I was really sad about it becoming September, and I just, yeah, was upset about that. And when it was September 1st, I told myself it was August 32nd, and then when it was September 2nd, I told myself it was August 33rd. I was just trying to prolong August as long as possible because I was just sad about it being September. I think because September brings a lot of change and busyness. I guess September's always brought a lot of change because it's the start of a new school season, and then sometimes that brings a lot of new things. Wow, it's so hot, but sorry. I'm not used to doing kind of a one-take thing. I normally can crop out stuff, but I just keep realizing that I can't do that, so I have to not be super weird. Yeah, what did I write down? Yeah, I think that I feel sad about kind of the loss of freedom that feels like comes with September in terms of needing to study and focus because I'm going to be in school. And so maybe some of you guys can relate to that. I don't know. Dun, dun, dun. Oh yeah, I can be a really future-focused thinker, so even though it was a week before, I'm just low-key fanning myself, even though it was still a week before school is starting, I just had a really hard time accepting that, and then I was thinking about what's to come and then being upset about that and not being present in the current moment and not being able to fully enjoy what was happening in the moment. Yeah, I find that I'm bad at being content. My phone. Excuse me, you're supposed to be a timer. We're just gonna put it right here. I find that I'm bad at being content in the here and now because of all the things that I have to do or something that I'm looking forward to that is going to be really busy. Can you see that I'm squinting? You guys, wow. It's hot. Yes, and so there was this quote by Morgan Harper Nichols, and she says something along the lines of let August be August and let September be September, or she says that with kind of different months, but I think I'm just bad at doing that. I'm bad at, I wonder if you can hear that wind. I'm bad at, being present and letting that month be that month and not kind of projecting my frustration or feelings about a month. Does that sound really weird? Am I just too emotional about months? I don't know. But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting quote. And I think that there's a few things going into my difficulty, I guess you could say, with school starting or with September, or kind of my, I guess, anxiety. Yeah, I think the first thing about it is kind of an anxiety about the things I have to do, about the challenges that are going to come, and just the unknown of it all. Because, I don't know, I know in August that I can kind of plan what I want and be more relaxed and have lots of social things with friends, and that can all be really relaxing and restorative, I guess. And then in September, it's just this daunting thought of so much school and all this work to do, and it's just kind of overwhelming. The second thing I think going on, oh my goodness, I never sweat this much. Okay, I hope you cannot see that. Can I just wipe it all away? Shoot, I just did that thinking I could edit it out, and then I realized I can't. The second thing going on is, I think, a sadness about the loss of what is currently enjoyable. Yeah, because change can be really hard, you guys. Anyways, but the first thing I wanted to, I guess, address to myself, but then also talk to you guys about, and maybe this can be helpful for you, is just reminding you, or telling you if you never knew this, but the commandment in the Bible that is said the most often is do not fear. And I think God said that because he knew that we like to be afraid a lot. Not like to be, but we have a tendency to be afraid a lot. About the unknown, about things not changing. I feel like it can just go on either end of it. We can be afraid. And one verse I wanted to read about that is Philippians 4 verses 6 and 7, and it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." And yeah, so that's one about not fearing. And dun dun dun. And the other one was John 27. Oops. Oh shoot, I just had it and then I lost it. John 14. Oh man, the time goes by quick, you guys. John 14:27. I really like this one. Okay. It says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." And that's Jesus speaking. Yeah, I think that speaks for itself, but just receiving the peace that God so graciously offers us always. And I think often I can pray for peace, or asking God for peace, which is totally legitimate. But then there's also a point where I need to just choose to receive the peace that's actually always available to me in God. And that doesn't mean that my circumstances are going to change. And that's not necessarily a peace about, oh, it'll be better in the future. But it's a peace knowing that I'm so loved by God, and that I'm secure in him. Yeah, that's a little tangent, but I think it's a good tangent. Okay, next. Dun, dun, dun. I'm trying to see. Oh, I have another verse. So exciting. Okay, Matthew 6:34. I just have all these ones about not being afraid because I think we need to hear that, you know? Matthew 6:34. Da, 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 da. Okay. Oh, this is kind of about the being present. It says, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow..." I'll just start again. "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." And just that, again, staying present. And I don't know, that's for some reason so hard for me to just stay focused on the current moment and enjoy it. Okay. And dun dun dun. Oh yeah, something that I just wanted to say though too about sadness, or that kind of, yeah, I guess sadness about having things change. That's totally legitimate, and acknowledging our feelings and feeling those feelings is super important and, yeah, valid. And so don't hear what I'm not saying, I guess. Yeah, I'm not saying to not be sad about that. I'm just, I guess, saying feel that, and then also what can we do with that. And I think a big thing is contentment and gratitude. And I'm just realizing my time is running out, but I'm just going to talk for probably one more minute. Let me just stop this so it doesn't go crazy. But yeah, I think gratitude is something that even in the general world. There are so many studies about contentment and about gratitude. And a verse about, I think it's going to be about gratitude. That's not the right one. Let's find it. Just have all these Bibles out here so that you guys just don't have to wait for me to find all these verses. Okay, Philippians 4 verses 12 to 13 is Paul speaking. And he writes, he says, I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. Which, I didn't actually mean to read that last one that went into verse 13, but it's kind of interesting that I can do all this through him who gives me strength. It's talking about having joy in every circumstance. And yeah, that verse can be used people use it in a bunch of different contexts, but this wasn't even what I was going to think about talking about, or I hadn't even necessarily read this far when I was kind of prefacing it for this, but that's so interesting. He's talking about God gives us strength to be content in any and every situation, which is so awesome. And the secret of that is knowing God and having a relationship with him. And then the final verse I want to end on, let's find it. This one is 1 Thessalonians 5:18. It's actually, I'm going to do 1 Thessalonians 5 verses 16 to 18. It is, rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. So isn't that interesting, you guys, that it says God's will for you is to give thanks in all circumstances, to rejoice always, to pray continually. To rejoice always, you guys. How often do I not rejoice always? And so thinking forward into this new school year, this September, with a bunch of unknowns, a bunch of potential busyness, but also there's going to be so much joy and so many gifts in it. And so trying to focus on rejoicing always, praying continually, and giving thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Anyways, that's that. Thank you for joining me for my first ever Tent Talk Tuesday. And this was fun. I hope next time I record it's just not as hot. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. And it's fun we can hang out this way because Corona is, making us not able to hang out as much. So anyways,